gonna do us some theme music really quick? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the OutLoud&Awkward podcast, where two grown men sit in one man's basement and talk about everything that they like. My name is Richard, and with me is my co-host.
K to the R to the I to the S to the T.
Can you just say your name? Ty.
No, it's Christian.
Oh, man.
I'm here.
What is going on? You want to lean in some here?
Not really.
So we can hear your beautiful, angelic voice. I'm going to take one of those off because it feels so awkward hearing myself in my ears that I just can't talk.
We're still new to this, guys.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so starting off, you want to talk about what we've been up to, what's been going on in life? And
what media we've been consuming.
yeah, everything that's been going on. I know for me, I've still been reading One Piece because it's long. But I've also been watching Adventure Time, which is like the old Cartoon Network cartoon that came on.
I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say what it was in case there's someone who doesn't, okay? And I actually finished it today, so it was pretty good. I mean, I just needed something to work or to watch while I was working. So.
I've been topping off the Reborn anime because I've already read the manga a couple of times, and I need that.
Oh yeah, you're going
mix.
back and rewatching filler, aren't you?
Yep, I skipped the second filler arc because I just wanted to do the main story, but I went back now and it's pretty good. You can tell the mangaka, I'm probably butchering that, but she had a hand in it. You can tell because the pacing's actually pretty good. And I've been watching the Marvel 616. I just got done telling you about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where that's kind of like a documentary style.
Because you've been watching all the shorts, like the one shots and
Yeah, I watched
everything.
all the Marvel one shots. Yeah.
I've watched a couple of those, but I haven't watched all of them. Do you want to lean in some? Here, you want to scoot in?
I guess I can, I guess.
I mean, you just sound so far away. I know I hate that we have to be in one mic, but listen, it'll be all right. Eventually we'll get over it. This hump that is there.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't even know what I was going to say.
I definitely recommend at least. I've only watched a couple. I haven't even finished the second one. I've started really, but the first episode, Marvel 616, about the Japanese Spider-Man show, definitely watch it. It's super wholesome, and I love that show. So it was fun to actually learn stuff about it.
Other than that, I haven't been doing much else. Well, I've been watching Westworld. I know you're not into that show, but I enjoy it. It's a good. Cheyenne sent me a message the other day, my wife. And she was like, Westworld is basically just sexy Jurassic Park. Honestly.
Well, they were in it. They're both based on a Michael Crichton book, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but I think.
I have no idea. I mean, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It basically is just a theme park with robots.
Well, Aaron Paul is in it, so of course it's sexy.
All right, do you want to get into this? What are we doing today? You want to tell the people?
We're discussing Thor: The Dark World, the best Thor movie.
Oh no, not this. Please don't. Don't do this to me.
No,
we're doing Thor: Love and Thunder.
You probably know by the title.
Yeah. It's been almost a week tomorrow since I've watched it, and it's been a week since you watched it.
I think I watched it right before you did, yeah.
Yeah. But do you want to give like just spoiler-free review first, or do you want to just hop in and just give all spoilers? What do you want to do?
Well, I'll try my best not to spoil stuff. I need to get in the
that's
habit
how
of that, of not
For
spoiling
me,
stuff and just having the surface level talk and then getting deeper into it. So that way people can click off when they want to.
I feel like for me though, like some people who are gonna watch it, or listen to this, not watch it, they've probably already watched the movie,
or they just don't care about spoilers.
I think if we do like a short little spoiler thing, and then we can, or a spoiler free thing, and then hop into spoilers.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty good. So, do you want to tell me what the story is? I know I didn't want to like pull that in, but seriously, I feel like we could wrap.
Shout out to the Weekly Planet, best
I know.
podcast ever.
I felt like I said that, and I was like, I don't want it to come across as if I'm stealing that from them. But
I mean, it is just a sentence, though.
Yeah.
But shout out to them. Just to be clear, we love that podcast.
oh yes, go check it out. But, I mean, the movie starts out and
With Gore.
Gore the God Butcher, and he's doing some stuff. I mean, he's not God Butchering yet, I guess. Spoiler.
For the spoiler-free
Jesus
section.
Christ. I can't do this. I can't do non-spoilers.
Basically, I mean, I feel like most of you already know the story.
Yeah.
You've either read the comics or you just know the comics. That's how I hadn't read the comics,
Because
but
a lot
I knew
of
the plot
this
line.
movie pulled from the comics, a lot of the story threads, which, I mean...
Do you
were
remember
really
the
nice.
comic artist run, like the name?
No, I cannot.
Let me look it up just to give him credit, because I know people love those
Go
comics.
ahead and Google it for us. I'm not going to say the other Weekly Planet thing. Moment of silence while Christian looks this up.
No, keep talking.
I
Fill
can't
up the
keep talking.
space.
I can't fill space. What
You
do I
can.
look like? A space filler? I don't know what that was. That was a terrible joke. It's very cringy, kind of like
That
the
was
joke that was
beautiful.
made in this movie.
None of the jokes in this movie were cringy, and everybody loved the jokes.
Ooh, eat my hammer. That was pretty cringy, I guess.
Okay, it's showing Jason Aaron.
Is that the comic book artist?
Yes.
Who? What was it? again?
Jason Aaron.
Gotcha. But yeah.
Well, I guess just to kind of keep it spoiler free for a bit, how'd you feel about the movie?
I enjoyed it. Overall, I think it's been getting mixed reception from
Yeah,
fans.
yeah, definitely.
And so for me, I actually really enjoyed it. There's definitely some things that I kind of wish were in the movie more, like especially a certain character than what they were in the film. And so, but overall, I really enjoyed the film. Like everything that it did, it was definitely a Taika Waititi film. Like he had that, like he's always had like the same kind of like goofy vibe.
Yeah.
I think. Some things I kind of wish were taken out. Like I like Korg, but I kind of wish he was in the movie less than what he was. I think he's good, but I'm not a big fan of that character. So he's funny in moments as a good comic relief, but
Do you feel like he's Taika's self-insert into the story?
oh, he definitely is.
I mean, literally, but
Oh, I have a
Also-
spoiler for that later that
Okay.
I'll bring up that I thought was funny with the whole Korg. I think, I mean, everybody knows Jane Foster's in this movie.
Mhm.
I think her addition into the film was really well and like written in pretty nicely. I mean,
agreed.
and like her overall story in the film worked out really well, and everything that happened with her I really enjoyed. What are your opinions?
I thought it was awesome, but it was the kind of bare essential version of awesome where great movie, but it's just surface level. It's not going to add a ton to the MCU storyline, which
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't
no.
need to. It's not, maybe some people will. Personally, I didn't. I don't think others are coming away feeling like,
Well, I think there was definitely a post-credit scene that kind of hints to some future things that could happen
Yeah.
in the MCU, but I
But
feel like
most
they
of
may
them
not
do.
go that way. Yeah.
most of them do, just for those storylines.
Well, besides Doctor Strange, that second end credit scene didn't do anything besides gag us.
That was important.
Was it?
Yes.
I just liked seeing him on screen again.
For Sam Raimi fans, that's
yeah,
very
it
important.
was pretty cool. Because
But-
it was very, what was it?
Bruce Campbell.
It was an Army of the Dead that he was beating up on himself?
Evil Dead too.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one it was that he's.
Well, I'm
his
sure
hands
Army of
possessed
Darkness
and-
does it too. But yeah, Evil Dead 2 is when his hand's possessed.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's when he gets it off. Spoiler.
But
For
yeah.
a movie we're not talking about.
It's a basic MCU movie. If that's
Yeah.
not what you want right now, because everything's so crazy with the multiverse and all that, I understand. But it is what it is, and I was kind of ready for that.
Yeah. For me, we went through all the MCU movies or TV shows in Phase 4 so far, and it's definitely a relief and a good break from the TV shows because not all the TV shows are hits. And especially, I mean, a lot of people enjoyed Miss Marvel, but for me, there was definitely aspects in it that it just was slow and to me kind of boring at times. But
I love the character,
Yes.
the series, and some
it
of it
was
was
the
good.
side characters, really.
Yeah, besides her family, everybody else was kind of a snooze fest.
But we're not talking about Miss Marvel. We're talking about Love and Thunder here, okay?
Somewhat.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, after all the TV shows and the multiverse stuff, which I do love all that, it was nice to have something that was just kind of whatever. It's here for entertainment, maybe to add a little bit to Thor's character and story.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not adding to the bigger universe, and
That's
I think that's totally fine. It was like a phase one. Well,
Not
not
really a
phase
phase
one
one.
because that was really world building. But
Yeah.
it's,
It's definitely a good phase 2. Because phase 2 wasn't really any more setting up. It was more of just building on what was there. Phase 3 was a lot of setting up, I think. But phase 2 is definitely more of like, hey, here's some extra stuff like that kind of adds on what we've already created. But it's not really like overall like, hey, look at this. Well, besides like certain, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess in credit really built some of that, because
Yeah.
we got to see some of the stones and stuff like that, which was building, but it was like smaller. It was very tight, I think. But overall, the movie, I definitely enjoyed it. It was a good movie, great movie even.
fun, fast, crazy, fast-paced movie.
Oh yes, I think that was a lot of people's problem with it. Was it's so quick. It's one of the shortest MCU movies, especially
Yeah.
Phase 4. I mean, every
Well, it
single-
just felt fast anyway,
Yeah.
because it was. I felt like by like the real second action scene, I was like, "Are we almost done?" And we were.
Yeah. Well, do you want to go ahead and get into spoilers
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
All right. So my first spoiler is, I kind of wish Gore was in the movie more.
Oh yeah, same.
He was one of the best MCU villains that I've seen, and I hate the way that they took him out.
I didn't hate the way they took him out. I definitely wish he got more screen time.
He totally could have wished for something different. Definitely could have. But I think they should have given him more screen time. I think what they gave him was not enough. We didn't see him doing enough god butchering and
Yeah, it was weird how he only killed one on screen.
Yeah.
That was his setup. As far as I can remember, he only killed one.
yeah, because we only saw him kill one, but we saw him kill, or we didn't see him kill, but we saw the
The Beast or whatever.
yeah, I
it
can't
was.
remember his
Yeah.
name, but he got killed, and it was one of Thor's buddies. But I mean, other than that, we didn't really see anything they did, and I mean, honestly, to be totally honest, he wasn't in the wrong because most of the gods were.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you get to Zeus in that movie, he doesn't care. Like, he would be totally okay if like everybody besides the gods died. Like, he does not care. Like, he just cares about himself. And so, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, is Gore really the villain in this movie? Like, is he that bad? Like, yeah, he's killing a bunch of gods, but like, honestly, Thor also agrees that some of the gods are not the best.
Well, plus look at Hela and Loki and Odin and all the chaos
Yeah.
they caused. I mean, those are the ones we've seen the most of, some of the
Yeah.
most of, and they're not that great.
No. I mean, especially like from Ragnarok, you saw what Odin had gotten into with Hela.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like they're not the best. Like, they're not good people. I mean, they're gods. And they're selfish and they kind of do what they want. I mean, Odin obviously changed his ways and for the better.
Somewhat.
But, yeah.
And
But, I
Loki,
mean, he still locked his daughter away, I guess.
Loki has had some character arcs and stuff, but
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely think that we should have seen more of him doing stuff. But then again, I think if we saw him kill somebody who wasn't really, I guess, a threat, like a bad god, then we would have turned on him and been like, okay.
I mean,
now,
he hurt-
Now I see that he's a bad guy.
he heard Lady Sif.
Yeah, Sif. Yeah, she cut off one of her arms.
But
She thought she was going to Valhalla, but she would die in battle. Yeah, that was
I don't
pretty
know.
fun.
That was a
was
weird
like-
off-screen fight, though.
Yeah, I didn't
for
like
a
that. I
movie
feel-
so short.
I wish we would have been able to see more of like the big battles, but again, I understand why we didn't, because it was so short. He had to cut out so much.
But I felt like there was stuff you could have cut out that wasn't that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Them fighting in New Asgard, that was pretty nice. I did enjoy that. That whole...
Well, anything to do with gore was amazing.
Because Christian Bale did an amazing job.
He did.
Gore. Like, every time Gore was on screen, like, I was focused in. And I was like, this guy is terrifying. Like, when he starts talking to the kids in, like, their cage, and, like, he's sitting there and he's talking about how... Or one of Heimdall's kid says that Thor cut off Thanos' head, that he's going to cut off your head too. And then like he makes that snake appear, and then he just rips off the snake's head. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this dude is terrifying. I don't know.
And just the way he shot, like always kind of in darkness.
Yeah.
It
was really, especially when they went to the Shadow Realm, or what is it called? I can't.
Shadow Realm.
Is that what it was?
Yu-Gi-Oh fans know.
Because they were like going to, I guess, his home, the tent or whatever was there, like the bunch of cloth that was hanging around. And that whole scene, I was just like, he's going to pop out somewhere. This is going to be terrifying because he's just going to pop out and just cause some chaos. And I loved all of that. And
well, people say the movie's too jokey, but I feel like the stuff with Gore and the stuff with Jane's cancer
that
were
was
handled
pretty
really
serious.
well.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't really played off for jokes. I'm sure there were jokes in them, but even
besides
people in those
her,
situations
like,
would joke.
like her first joke when she's getting chemo and she's sitting there talking to, what's her friend's name from Dark World?
Darcy.
I almost said WandaVision because she's in that too. I totally forgot. But she, like, was talking to her and she was like, well, I'm only in stage 4.
Yeah, but to me that felt real. That feels like if you were talking to your friend about something so, like,
serious.
You'd want to downplay it.
Yeah.
It felt like a real kind of joke, not like a lot of the jokes in this movie were kind of just sitcom-y.
That was the worst one. I don't know why. And I think the other action scene that I really loved was when the final, like, battle that Gore and Thor had, when, like, he gets to all the kids and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you guys some of Thor's power temporarily. And like all the kids just grab like whatever's around and just start packing it and just whacking at the shadow demons. And I was just like, this is kind of awesome. I do enjoy
I thought
this.
that was funny, but for one, it got to the point where I was like, we're doing another swarm of bad guys, nameless bad guys.
That's the MCU way, okay?
That doesn't mean I
like
like
it. You got
it.
Age of Ultron, you got the first Avengers.
Well, it doesn't bother me when it's one or two a movie, but it's like that was like the third or fourth time just that movie, and it was like, okay. And if you're at least gonna do that, tack on. Why does Valkyrie not get any real fights?
Yeah, I know she gets
She
hurt.
got shafted so hard.
Yeah, she
in
did.
The movie.
She got hurt.
I was so disappointed.
That was one of my wife's criticisms is that, you know, Jane at the end of the movie, like obviously like the hammer's killing her slowly because it's not letting her get the chemo and it's taking all of her strength away. And she's just like, okay, I'm gonna go back then and I need to help Thor. Well, why didn't Valkyrie just be like, oh, I'm gonna go help Thor? But at the same time, she had a reason to stay on New Asgard because she was the ruler of New Asgard. Jane knew she was gonna die regardless.
But all the kids were from New Asgard. It was literally her problem.
Well, I think for her is that she stayed behind to kind of watch over until Thor got back. And Jane was kind of like, well, I'm going to die anyways. And if I don't go help Thor right now, he's going to also die. And I'd rather be with him while I die.
Well, I'm okay with all that, but it's like Valkyrie was such an important part of Ragnarok. I understand
didn't really do
characters
much.
are going to come and go, but she was in the movie and played almost no role.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I see what you're saying.
Part of my hype personally for the movie is she was talking about how she'd find her king for New Asgard.
Yeah, and
but like nothing
that.
came from that at all.
Yeah,
And instead, Korg got some random boyfriend in the movie. Which
Hey, did you hear what the boyfriend's name was?
No,
It's
Dwayne.
Dwayne the Rock.
But see, that's so random that's just like an end piece of the movie when Valkyrie should have kind of gotten her romance arc. I'm not saying everybody needs a romance arc,
but you should have given at least something to
Valkyrie, yeah.
Because she didn't really get anything. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm trying to think. There was something else I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember what it was. But I liked what Valkyrie did for the most part in the movie. But there was definitely some things that she could have. I feel like she could have done more than what she kind of got handed. She got handed a crap stack. She got the lightning bolt and didn't really do anything with it. She kind of had it in her hand during that fight on the Shadow World, and then that's it. She didn't do anything with it. Thor took it after that and started using it.
Yeah. Also, if I said king, I definitely meant queen when I was talking about Valkyrie finding somebody.
Oh no, she's looking for. Oh no, she was looking for a queen because she's a king.
I got it mixed up. Yeah,
she's a king.
Yeah, I got mixed up for a second. But yeah, I just was disappointed.
I got confused too because I was like, no, she's looking for another like female. I was like, oh wait, no, she's looking for a queen. Yeah.
The new Asgard stuff I get so confused about sometimes.
Did you hear? One thing that I thought was really cool with this movie though was the shadow demons that like were running around were actually created by like the cast and crew's kids. I didn't know if you knew that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So
no,
like
I
can't remember who it was. I don't think it was Taika, but it was one of the like writers on this movie was like writing about or he was like an artist on it, and one of his kids walked in and was like, hey, what's a shadow demon? And the dad was just kind of like, I have no idea. He's like, I don't know what that's going to look like. And so the kid like went away, drew something up, and came back, and it was just like this weird spider looking creature. And so then he took it to the VFX. They made a CGI version of that thing and popped it into the movie, and then like
that's awesome.
They just kind of had their kids create all of these shadow demons that we see, which I mean makes sense because if you want something that a kid is scared of, why not have a kid design it? Like that makes so much sense because those kinds of things look like stuff I would have been scared of as a kid. Like those things look terrifying.
So who'd you want in the movie?
Do what?
You said you wanted somebody in the movie that wasn't in it.
No, I said I wanted Gore. I wanted somebody to get more screen time in the movie than what they did, and that was Gore.
I was really missing Hulk.
Oh, so that would have been cool to see a little cameo of him showing up.
Well, I kind of just would have liked them to team up again. I love their chemistry in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I kind of would have just liked to see that crew back together.
I don't know if they will because we still don't know what's going on with his arm. Because like in the She-Hulk trailers, his arm's fine, but obviously his arm's kind of messed up in Shang-Chi end credit scene. So we don't know what's going on there, but definitely enjoyed the movie. There's definitely some things that I kind of wished were played a little differently. I also feel like maybe we should have wrote notes down for this because this is so chaotic.
Notes.
This is so
no
chaotic
notes.
And all over the place right now.
The people will enjoy our authentic idiot selves.
I don't know if that's true, but
I will say though, the Shadow Realm fight in the beginning, like the beginning part before it really they go back to Earth, which that was something that also annoyed me. But this is literally nitpick.
Yeah.
Is they start fighting the Shadow Realm, go back down to Earth, then go back up, then go back down. It kind of felt like side quests in the video game, but that's just a nitpick. But the Shadow Realm fight, when they first get there, all that was just perfect. That's like one of the best moments in the MCU, I would definitely say. Even though this isn't one of my favorite MCU movies, that scene
was really good.
Just the way it looked, the way it was acted, that I felt like there was actual stakes.
Yeah.
It was... I loved it.
I think for most of the movie, I felt like there was actual stakes involved. Even though I knew none of the kids were probably going to like end up.
I didn't expect any of the kids to
like,
get hurt.
It definitely seemed like, for a second, like I mean, with Korg almost dying, I kind of wish that we had. Which I mean, I know it's Taika Waititi, so he's like, I'm not going to kill off my character. And I kind of thought Valkyrie was going to bite it too.
Dude, I would have been so mad if she died when she got so little to do.
Yeah.
I thought Thor was going to die, honestly.
I think. Because for a second I did too, and then I was like, well, then Jane Foster would just take over, but...
That's what I expected to happen.
That's not what they did. I mean, now, obviously, with the end of the movie, like, we see... Because Gore gets to that wishing realm.
Which was awesome.
Which was really cool to see, and I liked it, which was... I feel like it's also super confusing for some people. But I really enjoyed it, and, like, he went and made his one wish, and he gets his daughter back, which... Honestly, if you paid attention at the beginning and the name of the movie, you probably would have figured that out. Because at the beginning of the movie, when he's with his daughter, he keeps calling her love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you picked up on that. He calls her love over and over again, and then when he's dying and he wishes for her to come back, he's like, take care of my love. And then at the end, when Thor is raising his daughter, they say that they call them Love and Thunder. And so I think that's kind of cool. That, like, for, like, the whole time, like, she had been mentioned throughout this whole movie.
Yeah.
Even in the title screen, like, and we just
True.
didn't know because she was love the whole time. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And him making the wish was pretty awesome. I still think that he could have made a different wish, like. But for how the story had to go, it makes sense that he made that.
But
wish.
that's the thing, though. I feel like it kind of set a destination.
Yeah.
And only certain aspects. Do you think it was like a Spider-Man 3 situation where there's just too much to do?
Yeah.
Because you have Jane's arc, which starts here too. Like, obviously she was in other movies, but the cancer situation is new to this movie. So you have that. You have where Thor is at. You kind of have the Guardians. They leave pretty quick, which I don't have a problem with, but you kind of have that crammed in.
Yeah.
So Valkyrie kind of gets cut.
Gore
kind of gets cut down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at Ragnarok and you look at Hela and just she
got so much like development as a villain.
Well, I wonder how much screen time, like if you went minute by minute, because it may not even be that far off, but I think it definitely felt like
kind of thing.
Because I think she just does more.
Yeah.
So she feels like a lurking threat, even when she like Jaws. The Sharks doesn't have a ton of screen time, but you always feel his presence because he's always making moves. Well, Same with Hela.
Yeah.
Gore, for the most part, we're not seeing him do a lot.
So we're just kind of like, how long has he been doing this? Like, has it only been like a couple weeks, couple months? Like, how long has he been
What's he actually
gods?
done?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many gods has he actually killed? I think they mentioned how many, but it's like, how long has he been actually doing this? Whereas, like, with Hela, we see her kill, we see her kill, like, the Warriors 3?
Yeah.
Is that what they were? Yeah. So we see her kill them, and, like, we actually see her
take over Asgard, break the hammer.
And then we go back to Thor and what Thor is doing. And so then this whole time we're like, okay, well, we know Hela is, like, causing damage in Asgard. But as of right now, like, we watched the beginning of Thor Love and Thunder, and we see Gore kill his god. And then he's like, well, I'm going to go kill all these other ones. And then we don't see any other ones dead besides the one.
The big one, yeah.
Yeah, and so then we're like, so has he only killed 2? Like, how many has he actually killed? What's going on here? What has he done? Like, what has caused him to be the big talk of the town? Because we haven't seen him do anything. I also think it would have been interesting if he's been doing it for a while and, like, nobody's really caught on until recently type of thing.
Probably.
Because, like, they just, like, obviously the beginning, when we first meet Thor, he's on a Guardians adventure with the Guardians of the Galaxy trying to save these people, and then they bring up that their god had died. And so we're like, okay, so Gore went here, but when did he come and kill this god? Like, how much time has passed since him killing the Guardians getting to that planet and Gore killing this god? Like, how much time has, like, actually passed on here? And then they get like a bunch of blips the Guardians do on their thing. Oh, there we have all these problems coming up. Like, what's going on? And Thor's like, they're like, Thor, you go deal with this situation. We're gonna go deal with all the other things.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I feel like they had to write out the Guardians somehow.
Well, Tyga may not even one of them in the movie. It just kind of falls through the plotline of Endgame.
Well, because originally Guardians 3 was going to take place before Thor Love and Thunder. So I feel like they would have written out Thor of the Guardians in that movie.
Yeah.
But then they couldn't because James Gunn, the whole James Gunn situation, now he's back and everything. And him directing Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just feel like I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't really needed for the Guardians to even be in there.
But I will say, for the little time they get, he used them, like, Star-Lord definitely had a big part to play in the movie.
Yeah.
Just for the emotional through line, not an actual big part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, true. But, I mean, even with all this, like, all these bad things that we've said about this movie, I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
oh,
went
yeah.
into it. I had a good time. I got a lot of laughs out of it. I mean, there was definitely some moments that I was kind of like, ugh, can this... Like, when they were at the, what is that? Not Olympia, but I can't remember where they went. Where the gods were meeting.
Your guess is as good as mine.
But we don't remember anything. We should have taken notes.
No. Authenticity.
Oh, God. Okay. But when they went there, for most of it, I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of a drag. I don't really care all that much about what's going on. But, I mean, I liked seeing everything that happened, but I felt like that scene could have been a little bit shorter. And you got Zeus, who... Russell Crowe played Zeus very well, I think. He was like a good asshole. Like, he was not a likable god at all. He definitely wasn't like the Greek Zeus that we would normally see.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I definitely like that. But, I mean, overall, it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Do you want to talk about the end credit scenes?
No, they're not really important MCU things.
I mean, I think...
Post-credit scenes are never important in the MCU.
That's not true. I think seeing...
Roy.
Yeah,
Roy.
He's there.
Yeah.
He's there.
Oh,
He's
man.
here. He's there. He's everything where it's Roy good. I started singing that in the theaters. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh my God.
Oh, so you're one of those annoying people.
Oh, yeah. I definitely am. I think he looked really good as Hercules, too.
Yeah.
Like...
For the 2 seconds. Like,
he was there.
He was there so short, I wasn't even fully sure it was him.
But I'm excited to see him
Same.
in more stuff
Well,
in the future.
It's just cool when they plant these seeds of stuff that can happen. Like, you're waiting for the bang to go off on so many different things. Like, every time I watch an MCU movie or show, I'm like, almost tense. Like, where's Kang? Now I'm going to be like, where's Kang? Where's the gods?
Yeah.
When's all this crazy
Where's
stuff going to go
Hercules?
down?
Where's Doctor Strange and the... Because he jumped into the portal.
Yeah. When are these bombs going to start going off? And it's fun. And, like, adds an extra layer to every movie you watch.
I mean, definitely overall, I feel like the MCU is definitely in like a... Pretty much most of the movies are kind of the same. Some of them are definitely better than others, but I like that some of them are different. But some of them are pretty much the same overall. And then the other post-credit scene I almost forgot about was we seen Jane Foster in Valhalla.
I mean, that was unnecessary, but seeing Heimdall was fine. Knowing that she got to go to Valhalla was nice.
Yeah. Well, and in the comics, one thing that I found out that I didn't really know about is that Valhalla is... I mean, people can come in and out of it, apparently. So, like, we could see her come back, and she comes back in the comics after being, I think, Thor and dying. She comes back, and she's Valkyrie, and she's one of the guardians of Asgard. She's one of the Valkyries, which is kind of cool if she came back to do that. They kind of sets that up, but it's not like, oh, you have to come back and do this. It's just kind of like, hey, look, happy ending for her. Like, she doesn't die of cancer. She actually... like
had a Warriors ending.
Yeah, which is really nice because I mean obviously she was going through her own battle, which
she's a warrior in her own right. I mean literally and figuratively. She fought cancer and she also did fight in a big almost supernatural battle.
War.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed the movie. I mean I know everybody has their own takes on it and
but ours
what they
are right.
feel about it. Oh yeah, no, they definitely are. Yeah, everybody else is wrong. Ours are right. I mean, in terms of all other Phase 4 movies, definitely not my favorite.
It's pretty middle.
I mean, I like it better. I mean, Black Widow wasn't awful, but there was definitely parts that I did not like.
I'm sorry, Black Widow was awful.
I know you think that, and I think it was better than Eternals.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy Eternals more than Black Widow, but I definitely would put Thor above them.
And, I mean, I don't think it's any better than Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, or Shang-Chi, but...
Yeah, those three I really love. Thor I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a nice difference than the other movies. But
It was nice to just have fun. You didn't have to sit there and think about the wider universe that much.
It seems like a lot of the Phase 4 stuff so far haven't really set up big things, but just kind of like their own small continuations that they can kind of go off of, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, they'll all collide back together once we get to see, like, the real big threat. Because that's kind of how it felt with the first phase and kind of the second phase. We kind of got, like, a build-up, but we weren't really sure. And then
They got to slow roll it out, which I'm...
Yeah.
As long as the movies and stuff are good, I don't care how long it takes. As long as we're getting little breadcrumbs.
Same. But I don't have anything else to say. I mean, that's pretty much all I had. I really enjoyed the movie. I think if you're an MCU fan, I mean, go watch it. But if not, just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus, because I mean, it's going to be out in like probably 3 more months. So
Yeah.
And our next episode after this one is going to be us ranking our Phase 1 MCU movies. So that's going to be fun to do. And then hopefully after that we got some more cool stuff. Hopefully we got a special guest coming on, so I'm gonna enjoy that if it all goes through. So
Because we're not gonna be one tone about stuff. It's not gonna be just superhero stuff. I definitely want to dip into horror, and
same.
I've been promising people on social media we gotta give attention to the niche. More niche. You know, Zatch Bell, Darren Shan, all that. They have their fans, but
I think
know y'all
eventually
are
we're gonna
for content like I am.
Yeah, I think eventually we're gonna go into some Darren Shan
Yes.
books.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, and then I know I definitely want to delve into like some, like once One Piece kind of comes back stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of give our opinions on everything. But,
We'll have something for everybody, so just bear with us.
Yeah, it won't only ever be superhero stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we'll cover quite a bit of different things. Like especially once Breaking Bad this season ends and everything.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. What did I say? Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Or once Ted Lasso comes back.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be fun to talk about.
But I think we're going to end it off there. Hope you all did enjoy. Do you want to give our socials out? Because we didn't do that the last 2 times we recorded. We've kind of been forgetting about that.
OutLoud&Awkward. All one. No spaces. On Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. And then we have an email. If you want to email in, it's OutLoud&Awkward pod@gmail.com.
That's right.
I couldn't remember what it was, but I remembered. I feel like we're going to have to write that down so I don't forget that. We're going to have to make sure we say this at the end of every single one. But hope you all did enjoy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to hear some more from us in the future. Follow us on our socials to stay updated on when we post, and if we take a break or something like that, make sure to check those out. But we'll see you in the next one. You want to say anything? You want to cut it?
Peace out, Girl Scout.
You gonna add anything to that? You said you were gonna add something to it every time.
No.
No, you just want to leave it like that. Okay.
Can't beat the OG.